4 losses or to an Eagles team that only has 3 losses, or to a Lions team that only got 2 losses, and they're to a Vikings team 1 time. James, I can't wait to ask you this question because you have said many times the Packers need to prove to you they can beat a good team.
They do.
Who needs to win more, Big Dog? Packers, Vikings, talk to me.
You just answered my question.
Prove it.
The Pack got to go out here and win a game, man. I mean, those 3 teams you just said that we lost to, it's probably going to be the 3 teams we're going to have to beat in the playoffs. They're going to be in the playoffs. So if you have any aspirations of getting to a Super Bowl, you got to go through these teams. It's time to show up. It's time to deliver. Jordan Love, you make a whole lot of money. Jordan Love, you are a talented quarterback. Jordan Love, you are like that. Go out there and outplay Sam Darnold. The Green Bay Packers have to go out here and win this game and not show to us, but show to themselves that we can beat these playoff teams. Because right now, to themselves, they can't. And you probably have some confidence in that room, in that locker room, because you guys are winning games and the players you have in that locker room, but you have not beaten the good football teams. You got to go out here on Sunday on the road and beat a really good Vikings football team to show yourself that you can walk into these playoffs ready to go compete for a championship. They must win this game if you want to walk into the playoffs thinking you have a chance to win a championship. If you don't win this game, you walking in with false confidence. That's what you're walking in there with.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree with you. The thing is, I could pick both. It's like the MVP matchup. This question, it's like, okay, I can make a case for the Packers. I can make a case for the Vikings because if they win, they're 14-2. They're keeping pace with the 1 seed, and we know how everyone up here, well, mainly Shady, feels about Sam Darnold. You're doing it with Sam Darnold, but for me, it's got to be the Packers. Like, has there ever been a more underrated 11-win team this late in the year than the Green Bay Packers? Because they've beaten everyone they should beat. They just have not beaten elite teams. Obviously, what James said, twice to the Lions, once to the Vikings, which was close, and that was the first game Jordan Love had back from injury, once against the Eagles, where it was a 1-point game and he got hurt. So you have to factor in context a little bit around that. The one thing I've been most impressed with is with the Packers, it's not only Jordan Love, right? He hasn't thrown an interception in like 5 straight games after throwing 11 in his first 8 games back. It's that rush offense. Their rushing offense is 4th in the NFL in rush yards per game. That travels in the playoffs. Their defense is top 6 or 7 in every major category. That was the major change they made this offseason, was firing their defensive coordinator, getting a new defense coordinator in. They're a young team. They're built to last. Run game defense travels in the playoffs. They just have to go out. I don't even think they got to prove it to anyone else other than themselves that we can beat teams that we will see in the playoffs.
That's well said. 2-5, Vikings, Packers, a lot at stake, both of them.
Packers. Oh. If you ask Matt LaFleur, a really good coach, I love the way he calls play. I love everything about Matt LaFleur. But if I say, Coach, are y'all a legit team? Are y'all an elite team? He's going to say yes, right? And I'm going to say, why?
Yeah.
He can't answer that question. You can answer the question, are y'all an elite team? But you can't answer the question, why are y'all an elite team? You can't answer it. Because when I watch the Packers, they got a lot of talent. They got a lot of scary talent.
Yes,
offense and defense. I'm like, if these guys can really click on the same cylinders or all that, they will be dominant. Quarterback's really good. Running back is phenomenal. And all them speeds for wide receivers they have. But when you really look at them, who they really beat? I watched the Seahawks yesterday. I didn't think they were that good. The quarterback's okay. They put 3 points on the Bears. Okay? Then look at the Rams. You beat them. They didn't have Puka or they have Cooper Kupp, right? So, like, who are the Rams without them guys? And then my biggest one is the Texans, who I don't think is a good team. They keep showing me they're not a good team. So when I'm asking, like, are y'all really an elite team? I don't know. And I want to say no, so you got to go out there and win this game to prove it. You got to play the Vikings. The Vikings are a really, really good team. I'm not really big on them either because I watch the same type of scheme they did, right? Because I know a lot of people, they put them ski masks on and you can't tell what it is, and then they rob you, right? And I watched the Vikings rob me a couple years ago with Kurt and them boys. And I'm like, yo, they really, really good, this and that. They win games. What were they, 12 and they were good. They were solid.
12 games.
Yeah. And you played the Giants at home and you lost to Daniel Jones. So, 2 things here, fellas. Packers, go out there and win this game and show me you an elite team, right, and back your coach up. And then the second thing is the Vikings. Prove to me that you really are a good team, though, because I've seen this same type of thing before, and you will not fool me again. I don't like both of these teams. I don't. I can't believe in them. Sam Darnold. And then, like, it's and I don't want to come off as hating, but, like, I'm just being real. If I'm in the locker room with Sam Darnold, and he's playing so well, every week I'm like, yo, you think it's the week he's about to go back to who he is? Oh, my God, he didn't do it. He didn't. Woo! And every week I'm gonna be saying that because I've seen so many games of you looking how Sam looks. I don't know. It's a hard one, dog.
For 15 weeks,
He's
Shady,
at 16 games.
You still gonna be
How many years you been in the league?
I don't know, 5, 6,
now,
yeah.
For 5 years. You know what I'm saying? You gonna say 16, you gonna say 15 games and all that? And I'm gonna say.
But with us, though.
Look. For 5 years, dog. I see you 5 years, you know?
So you thinking Justin Jefferson saying that right now? Or is he saying, like, man, with us,
Give me the ball.
these 16 weeks with us,
Listen.
bro, like that?
Listen, if they said, Justin, should we pay this guy $200 million and something like that? He gonna be like, yeah, do it.
But Shady, let me personalize it for
He gonna
you.
be like,
Because it was by the time you were in Philly and you saw Nick Foles' crazy run, and obviously when Foles went on to win the Super Bowl.
And Foles is my boy.
Correct.
Keep it back. I'm gonna beat him up, okay?
When Foles was balling in Philly in 2013, when he had 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, I was like, let's just enjoy the ride. I thought maybe it'll come to an end.
Yeah.
And obviously I lived with Foles. Foles is really my dog, for real. But I was like, let's just enjoy the ride.
I enjoyed it.
When he led the Eagles to a Super Bowl in 2017, there can be stretches where players who you know are doing things that you would assume are beyond their normal skill level, but that ride just gonna stop. Like Foles, when he was with the Rams, was terrible with Jeff Fisher and company. But when he came back and with Chip, he went crazy.
Yep.
When he came back with Doug Peterson, he went crazy. When he went to the Jags with who would have been the coach at that point? I don't remember. But, like, when he was with Doug and with Chip, he went crazy. Could the same not be true? Because you've lived it. Like, you've lived a quarterback who is living beyond
He put me on the spot.
the playing level. And you never were like, when's this going to end with Foles? Because it never really ended.
Yeah.
We went to the playoffs. We lost to the Saints, but it wasn't on Foles. Sproles returned the kick.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, like.
I'll say this, right? Because Foles is my dog, right? Good person, great teammate. He was playing well.
Elite.
He was playing better than Vic at the time.
Yes,
you know what I
way
mean?
better.
But in the back of my mind, in the back of Deshaun Jackson's mind, in the back of Joey Macklin's mind, in the back of Brent Selleck's mind, it's like, okay, how long can this thing happen? How long can this thing keep playing like this? Because when you know somebody, right? So him doing all that good things, I was like surprised. So then when I seen him have some down gears, I wasn't really surprised. Does that make sense? Like,
were you surprised when you saw him then have the Super Bowl year?
MVP.
So even that, okay, let's go to that part. So a lot of things had to work well for him, right? I think he's the type of player, and I think Sam Darnold's the type of player where, like, they can do well, but they need a lot of things to work well with them. Mm-hmm. So, like, for example, certain players, coach, you just dial it up. If it's wrong, I'm gonna make it right. Nick Foles is not that. Mm-hmm. Nick Foles is like, okay, let's make sure this thing's right for me. Okay, then I can do my thing. Got to scheme everything up for him. Same thing they're doing with Minnesota.
Yeah.
Right.
So don't you then believe it because you've seen it. And Kevin O'Connell has proven to be that type of coach.
But there's certain games where, like, you see him go back to who he was, right? He might have played great for a long period of time, but there was some games where he getting that shell shock and he gets back to who he was, right? So you always gonna see it. But to believe it all every game, that's hard to do.
I got a quick question because I
didn't
watch Nick Foles that much in his career. But was his low moments ever as low as Sam Darnold? Because I think that's the thing. I don't think Nick Foles was ever as bad as Sam Darnold.
Yeah, not with us.
You know what I'm saying?
In the Rams, he had some
But he wasn't forced.
Same with Seam goes.
But see, I think another thing with Sam Darnold is when you a high draft pick like that, like
Sam Darnold was a first-round pick.
But I'm saying when you're first-round quarterback, like, all right, we want you to go out there and ball
right now.
With Nick Foles, even when he was playing really, really good, it's like, okay, let's slowly get Nick involved. Yeah. And then when he started playing better, we start getting him more and more and more. I just think it's different.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, respectful to Sam, like, Sam was doing well. Well, it's like we be trying to put him up there with the elites because he's playing good. But I'm saying
celebrate for the reasons why he's had such a great year. It's because he's playing really good football in a scheme, in a protected environment.
I'm just saying, going to the playoffs, now we playing all these good teams, right? And every little small mistake is big in the playoffs. I must think that eventually the Sam Darnold that we all seen before, it might come out.
Yeah. I mean,
we got to continue this conversation. Because my last thought, obviously I'm taking it to break, is a lot of quarterbacks underwhelm in the playoffs, but we give them the benefit of the doubt because we know they're good. So if Sam underwhelms in the playoffs, he won't get the benefit of the doubt because we assume he's bad.
That's a great point.
So it's like just because he struggles in the playoffs like Lamar does every playoff run, but we know how good Lamar is. So it's just like, it's a struggle. But if Sam struggles, he sucks. Does he suck or does he just do what most people in the playoffs do?
Well, I'm going to say, if you suck majority of your career,
then you don't get that equity.
Yeah, I mean, like Lamar never
Not
saw
even that, though. The expectations, too, though.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.